Well, welcome to our first Partner 5 in 5. This is actually our very first session. I'm actually joined from Alatair from ProcurePro. Welcome, Alatair. How you doing?
Very well. Thanks for having me, Rob.
No worries. Well, you know the format. Those in construction, like I used to be, have a very small attention span and too much to do. So we're going to keep it really tight. We've got 5 minutes. We're going to go through 5 questions for you. And really, the idea of this is to get people who are maybe familiar with the product to know more about it, or people who haven't heard of it before to really understand what it does. And critically, obviously, from our perspective, we're really interested in connecting the Procore ecosystem and really helping customers out. So without any further ado, let's jump in. First question I had for you, which is the most important, is what problems does ProcurePro solve?
Yeah, so ProcurePro is a digital procurement platform for major builders. So we help builders solve subcontractor procurement, which is just an absolute tangle and a mess of Excel procurement schedules, Word, scope of works, tenders, Excel comparisons, authority to lets, signatures, contract signatures, all these different annexures slotting at the back. There's so many different documents and templates that are needed throughout this process, and ProcurePro consolidates it all into one place, which gives the builders visibility across all of their projects, and customers tell us 30 to 50% time savings as well.
Yeah, I remember the pain of being in construction and having to go through that process. Sounds like it would save a lot of time. So from a user perspective, and the second question from our perspective, what type of role does this help, and what type of companies are you guys working for that really suit the product and get the most out of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, we service builders, major builders, really focused around the commercial construction space, and we help their commercial teams. So from the bottom up, we help contract administrators, perform better, cut the admin out, and do what they went to uni to study and work on construction, not on paperwork. We help commercial managers, get better commercial outcomes, get visibility across all of their projects, and we help directors basically have confidence in what all of their teams are doing by implementing those controls and getting that consistency and getting that quality at the end of the day.
Yeah, fantastic. I think you've got a couple people from industry in the team. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So myself, I'm a little bit more from the legal side, and then one of my best mates, Tim Rogers, spent a decade as a contract administrator and a project manager.
Right. He's processed a bit of paper. It's good they got that expertise in house. It definitely makes a difference when you got people from the industry building product for the industry, for sure. So one of the things that a lot of our customers and people watching are probably really curious about is how does it integrate with Procore? So we've got ProcurePro, a little bit of a tongue twister sometimes, and then we've got Procore, 2 great products. But how do they work together, and what's the benefit of the integration by bringing those 2 together, and how does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, ProcurePro solves that subcontractor procurement space really well. We go into a lot of depth. The key touch point that we have with Procore is around doc and drawing control. So the core module that pretty much most Procore customers are using, that integrates really nicely into ProcurePro's tendering portal and procurement tracking side of things. So getting the best of doc control and then the best of procurement sitting side by side. A couple other things that are coming next on the Procore front. So we're going to do the financials integration at the back end of this year, and we also integrate with other systems in a similar vein. So Aconex, same thing around doc control. We've just done JobPack in terms of financials. We're working on CHEOPS pretty shortly as well. So there's plenty coming on the construction management and finance side, and then we hook it all into DocuSign for e-signatures, Power BI for analytics and reporting, and then Microsoft the whole way through as well.
Yeah, and there's a lot of crossover there as well, because there's a lot of integration products like DocuSign, Power BI that you mentioned, which Procore already integrates. So you're going to get a double benefit there as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, and it's connecting up sort of that white space or mess of Excel and Word, and as a result, you've got construction management on one side, you've got finance here, you've got downstream DocuSign signatures and analytics, and then we're also really friendly with pay apps as well. So that'll be another one for 2023 coming soon.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw the product, there seems to be a bit of a, let's call it a no man's land between winning the project from an estimating and pre-construction team through to actually delivering from a contracts administration project management perspective. But the steps between those two were just heavily dominated with all sorts of manual processes, very time consuming. It did seem, for me, it was I don't know what's out there as well in terms of your competition, but it was definitely one of the first products I saw that actually bridged that gap, because like I said, it was a no man's land before that.
And I've been stealing your one-liner for
Yeah,
a couple of
okay,
years,
you've
Rob.
been using that one still. Awesome.
Filling the digital void between tenders and commitments.
That's right. I
There
think
is
I
that
said
no
it
man's
best
land.
the first time. Awesome. Well, look, one of the things we're really big on, and it's one of the reasons we staked our business on Procore and the connected technologies it has, is it's great to have a good product, but customer support, the customer experience after you purchase, is one of the most important things for us. So how do you guys support customers once they've signed up, and implementation and ongoing customer support and success? How does that work?
Yeah, so we've got a dedicated customer success team. I'll talk about two aspects. The first one is implementation. We're really conscious that there are a lot of war stories about implementations gone wrong, or just taking a lot of time and energy, and they go on for years and years. What we pride ourselves on is delivering really, really quick results. So we have a 3-month implementation, and that takes you from configuration, setup, get your first projects in, prove it works, and then scale it really quickly. So delivering those results, making the change go really fast, absolute clarity of communication with all your teams, and making it really easy, and increasing your time to value.
Awesome.
Through that implementation and then ongoing into the future, we've got a dedicated support team as well. So the little question mark in our application, you ask a question there, you get a response in 60 seconds, and people absolutely love it. There's no time spent waiting or wondering. You ask a question, you'll get an answer.
Yeah, and those customer support, they're all internal. You've got construction experience in there as well, and it's real people as well.
Absolutely. And look, there's our customer support team, there's developers. If it's late at night, I'll jump on one, no worries.
I'm sure you would. We're pushing time. We're trying to keep it down to 5. So one more question for you, which is always something I get excited about, which is product development. So what have you got coming down the pipeline that's not part of ProcurePro yet, but you've got coming soon?
Yeah, so we've got three big focus areas over the next 12 months. One is just enhancing our tendering portal, which we've just launched, but there's a lot of cool features coming in that regard to build the next generation of tendering.
Nice.
Second is the information that we're holding on subbies, and then feeding back into that procurement decision-making process. So things like past performance, historical engagements, but workload is a massive one.
Sure.
How many jobs are these guys tendering on? Do we have an opportunity for bulk purchase, or do we have concentration risk? And then it's just more and more integrations. So those we spoke about earlier, construction management, but finance is a big one. And then also tying procurement to program as well.
I'm a big fan of the programming one. I've been waiting for that one to come through. So, and what programming systems are you looking at integrating with?
Microsoft Project, Primavera, and then Asta, probably the third one as well.
That's a good 3. Awesome. Well, look, that brings us to the end of the time. 5 minutes is pretty tight. I'm sure we could shoot the breeze for a lot longer than that. But thank you for your time, Alatair. I really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you guys grow into the future.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Alatair. Cheers, mate.